This problem comes from Chapter 19, Number 12. A basketball player with a poor foul shot record practices intensively during the off-season. He tells the coach that he has raised his proficiency from 45% to 55%. The coach asks him to take 10 shots and is surprised when the player hits 9 out of 10. Part A says, suppose the player really is no better than before, still a 45% shooter. What's the probability he could hit at least 9 out of 10 shots anyways? And the hint is to use the binomial model. So the formula for the binomial model is right down here, and that's what I'm going to use. In this case, I'm finding the probability that x is at least 9, so that means greater than or equal to 9, which for this problem, because there's 10 shots, means that it is the probability that x is either equal to 9 or x is equal to 10, and then I'm going to add the two together. And so subbing into the formula right here, where x is equal to 9 and n is 10, so I have the combination of 10 things taken 9 at a time, times p, which is 0.45 raised to the 9th power, and q, which is 0.55 raised to the 10 minus 9 power. And so when I sub into the formula, I'm going to show you how I calculated the combination of 10 things taken 9 at a time using this formula up above here. It's n factorial divided by x factorial times n minus x factorial. So subbing in, that becomes 10 factorial divided by 9 factorial times 10 minus 9, which in this case is 1 factorial. So basically that becomes, on the top, 10 factorial is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And on the bottom, 9 factorial is the 9, 8, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And these all basically cancel out, so I'm left with 10 over 1, which is 10. And so then if I sub that 10 back up to here into this part of the formula, I have 10 times 0.45 raised to the 9th power times 0.55 raised to the 1st power, and that gives me an answer of 0.004161745. And so the next thing I have to do is I have to do the same formula, but this time for when x is equal to 10, and that's what I'm showing right here. So basically the combination of 10 things taken 10 at a time, that becomes 10 factorial divided by 10 factorial minus basically 0 factorial, and the two 10 factorials cancel out, and that gives me a 1 on top, and 0 factorial is 1 also, so all of this just goes to 1. So I have 1 times 0.45 raised to the 10th power times 0.55 raised to the 0 power, so basically it's 0.45 raised to the 10th power, which is approximately 0.00034. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to add those two together, the probability where x equals 9 from the previous screen and the probability where x equals 10 that I just had from up above here, and I add them together and I get 0.0045 is my probability that x is greater than or equal to 9. If you want to use your graphing calculator to do this, what I can do to do my graphing calculator, I'm going to use my Inspire calculator, and I'm going to do, I'm on a calculator screen, I'm just going to choose menu button, and I'm just going to go add a calculator screen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose menu, and I'm going to go down to statistics and distributions, and I'm just going to scroll down here till I find my binomial PDF. And so basically if I have, my n was 10, so I'm going to type in 10. My first one was, the probability was 0.45, and my x value was x to be 9, so if I just hit OK, notice that this was my first value of when x was equal to 9, I had 0.00416, and so I'm going to do that again. So menu, and I'm going to go to statistics and to distributions and binomial PDF, and this time n is 10. My probability stays at 0.45, and this time my x value is 10 again, and hit OK, and I get the 0.0034. So I can now add those two numbers together, 0.004161744 plus 0.00416 0.034051, and I end up with the 0.0045 that I got by doing it by hand. The other way you can do this is if you go to the menu button, go down to statistics. Let me back out of this here. So to statistics, to distributions, and this time find binomial CDF. That allows me to do a range of numbers. So my 10 is my trial. My P is 0.45 still. My lower bound was 9 because I'm doing x greater than or equal to 9. My upper bound was 10, so that will be x is greater than or equal to 9, includes 9 and 10. And if I hit OK, it gives me the answer right away, and I don't have to do the two separate ones.